How have you been, man?
I've been good. What about you?
I'm awesome, man. I was trying to check out your IG thing you did this week with the individual from the CEO.
Yeah, the humble takeover, Nick. Yes.
Nice. How did that go?
I posted up a little clip of it. So
Okay. Are you gonna be able to? Are we gonna be able to watch the whole thing entirely later?
so he's posting it on his YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably just end up sharing the link.
Got you. I
So
got you.
yeah,
Oh,
so everybody can be able to see it.
I
But it's
got
something I'm trying to keep doing on Thursdays. So
you. That's dope, man. That's dope.
yeah.
Kevin, you situated, brother?
The audio ain't there,
The
kid.
audio ain't there, brother. There you go. We hear you,
We
Kevin.
hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I think I might have figured it out.
A
Hold
little
on.
echo, but it's all good. Because it's probably the size of your room.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see if this
Okay.
works. Let's see here.
And then, so with this, Q, will you like ask the questions, or is it just like how the conversation flows, what you're hoping it would touch base on? Like,
yeah, I would kind of like start it off and ask the questions, but you know, if we just go into conversation that's not even a part of the script, I'm okay with that. I wanted to be very fluent and genuine. You know what I mean?
Right. For sure.
I don't know why my headphones are not working for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
I don't want you to be great, Kevin.
They don't.
But you're
I'm
going to
trying to be great.
prevail. That's why I said you're going to prevail.
All right, you guys ready? I'm ready.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Welcome to another episode of the Cue It Up podcast. I have two talented individuals on the line today. I would love to welcome to the stage Kevin Rawls and Kandid Rogerson. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. How you guys feeling today, man?
Good. What about you?
I'm good, man. I'm surviving.
Great.
I am surviving, man. COVID-19, man. How's it affecting y'all? Yeah.
You want to go?
Can't say it no better than that.
Well, it has me working from home and, just being in the house, not being able to go how I want to. So
I got you. Where you work now, Kandid?
I'm at University of Houston.
Nice. Okay, go Colts. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. What department you in?
I'm in donor engagement.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
nice.
I'm doing event planning for them. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's great. I'm in the nonprofit world too, so I understand this is gonna be a struggle out here for the charities and stuff like that.
I see you.
What about you, Kevin? How are things going on your end?
Man, yeah, everything's been pretty cool so far. Since COVID got started, I got furloughed by the job about 4 weeks ago. So
oh man,
I've been at the house. I came up here to the country to stay with my parents and kind of save money. So I've really just been kicking with them and really just enjoying this time off to reflect and, get my branding going, go through photos, and of course just spend time with my family. I don't really get to do that a lot. So I've made the most of it.
I understand, man.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that, man. But we had our discussion when that whole situation in the wintertime happened about the station. So you know how I feel about them. So I hate to hear that, brother. But whatever I can do on my end to help you, if I hear about anything, just let me know what you need, what you're looking for, and I can pass some stuff along to you, all right?
Sure, bro. I appreciate you.
Cool beans. Did you get that check, though?
Oh, yeah. No, I was just doing it today, man. TWC, we had a problem. We're beefing right now because they haven't come through with the check. So
I understand.
we're going to work on that.
Did you get the stimulus check, though?
I did get my stimulus last week. So
okay.
I did too.
You did too?
We're looking good there.
Have y'all spent it yet?
I have not. It's sitting in my savings, just chilling.
Oh, that's good. Same for me. I took a couple $100 out. I took about two. I took two out.
Nothing wrong with that, though. Nothing wrong with that.
I deserve it. I work hard.
Yeah, you deserve it. It's your money. It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Absolutely, man. I know. I know, man. Especially Kevin, with you being in live events, man, shooting concerts, everything got canceled. And news reports are saying that we may not have concerts back until the fall of 2021. My heart breaking, man. My heart's breaking, man. How do you feel about that?
Right here, bro. It hurts, man. You know, that's my bread and butter. That's how I make my living right there, shooting shows. That's my favorite thing to do. So when I saw that, I was completely devastated, man. Like, and I mean, it's understandable though, because working in entertainment, that goes hand in hand. Sports is the same way. Anybody who works in sports, you know, as you know, all three of us have worked in that arena before. So how sports returns will set the standard for our new normal when all of this is over. So if there are no fans at any sporting events, then I can expect the same, no less for concerts. I mean, you're even closer, arguably closer at a show, you know, being in the crowd. So it's going to be a while, I see, for any type of festival or concert or anything going on.
Yeah, man. I was planning on going to ACL this year in October, and you know, I just don't feel confident that it's going to pull through. I just don't. You know, and they talking about opening up the city next Friday or this Friday coming up, and I was just like, I don't know, bro. It's a little soon. You know? Just like in Florida, they opened up the beaches in like 30 minutes. Everybody was out there. It was hundreds of people out there. I was just like, oh, y'all kidding me right now?
Yes, and I heard Florida numbers ended up increasing.
Yep.
Since then,
and so just throw the whole.
That's the only downfall.
Yeah. Then Georgia, I think today announced they're going to open up the gyms, the hair salons, the barbershops, some of the restaurants in the next coming weeks. So I think barbershops and hair salons are essential nowadays because I got the struggle hairline going.
And I had to get the braids to help me through this.
I got you. All right, Kevin, you probably familiar with this. Or Catrice, you worked in game ops too with us at the Rockets, right? At one point in time, did you come down?
I assisted here and there, but I was mainly with like marketing and like planning with the games and stuff like that. So.
I got you. Were you there when Danelle and myself were there in game ops?
No, I wasn't. No.
Was Michael Mitchell there?
No, he was already gone too.
Oh yeah, she came after us. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm late in the game. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. We all found, bro. But one thing we used to do whenever somebody came down and shadowed with the Red Ops crew, we like to do this top five rappers. It just gave us a sense of their character and stuff like that. Yeah. So I wanted to incorporate that as an icebreaker. So we're going to do top 5 rappers. Okay. So I'm going to go first, just to give you a sense of how to go. In no particular order. All right. No particular order. So I'm going Drizzy Drake because Houston birthed him. That's ain't made a bad record yet. 10 plus years.
Hey, I can agree.
Name me one bad record from Drake. I'll wait. Not one. Everybody too society right now.
Fair.
Old Kanye. Let me repeat that. Old Kanye.
Man.
I know did y'all see the Jesus is King situation? I know Kevin went.
No,
I did. I was there.
Catrice?
It was
life-changing. It was life-changing.
Life-changing.
My opinion on that, I am a big Kanye fan. Wasn't a fan of the Jesus is King record album.
You was,
Really?
I was not.
What did you dislike?
Okay, well, I will say I wasn't a huge fan when Jesus is King was reported to drop. I was excited about it because I had seen Kanye for the first time out of the blue when I traveled to Atlanta and to see my sister, and she was like, "Oh yeah, Kanye will be here tomorrow morning." I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." So I saw him, and the performance was amazing. So when Jesus is King was reported to drop, that performance is what I was expecting. Only the first track was how that performance was. The rest was like Kanye's rendition. Jesus is Born was the album that I expected Jesus is King to be like. I love Jesus Born.
I wanted more like Christian artists like Lecrae and other art features that surround that bass and that genre to help elevate that to a different level. I don't feel like he just tried to make this rap album about, you know, his experience in regards to trying to figure his path in faith and stuff like that. But I couldn't relate to it. I just wish I was expecting more from him from it. It just felt like Kanye was. It didn't feel genuine. If that makes sense. What about you, Catrice?
Well, I honestly did not check it out, so
okay.
I'm going off y'all opinion on this one.
Yeah, it's just that whole situation didn't feel genuine, and if it is, God bless you. That enjoy your journey, but you taking that and the sweaters and the apparel and merch and the tour, and it's like you put yourself in a lane. And you say, "I'm doing only gospel music." I just can't see you coming back to hip hop now. You put yourself in kind of a box now. But old Kanye definitely top up there. You got to give him his respect. For me, the next one be Childish Gambino. You can't tell me nothing bad about Childish Gambino. Not one. I wasn't a fan of one of his albums, but still a fan of him as an artist and a person overall. And that last album he just dropped, fire. Fire.
I can't argue with that at all. I really can't.
Yeah. The next one, J. Cole. That's my boy.
Okay.
KOD was flames. I went to the Forest Hill Drive show, bro. Best show I ever went to. One of the best shows I ever been to. Big Sean opened up for him. I was like, whoop. Man. Hands in the air now. Hey.
Yeah.
Then, of course, I had to split the last one. Big Sean and Chance the Rapper. I had to split those two.
Man.
I had to split those two. Big Sean.
We're doing top 5.5?
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he made it.
Yeah. I couldn't forget my boy Chance, because Chance is a great artist. So I'll let you guys go first. Who wants to go first on this? Or go second, excuse me. Catrice?
Okay, I can go. That's fine.
All right.
So for me, I would say J. Cole for sure.
Okay.
I would say Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
I love him. Lil Wayne. I have to say Lil Wayne.
Solid choice.
Louisiana, Drake. And my fifth one. I really like Wale. So I would probably go Wale.
Bro, Michael Mitchell will hate you.
I'm sorry, Mike Mitchell. I like Wale though. He fits my vibe.
Wale is cool though. I actually met him at a wrestling event. He's really, really dope. And very socially awkward, but I get it. Socially awkward, but he's fun. He was fun to hang out with. All right, Kevin, what you got?
Well, I actually wrote some notes because I'm the most indecisive person ever. So I actually had it split into top 5 rappers right now and top 5 rappers ever. But seeing as how the trend is going, I'll go top 5 rappers right now that I have.
Okay.
No particular order, but number 1 is Drake. That he takes the cake. Drake is unbeatable. He's stayed relevant and consistent since I've been listening to him, and that was like 2009, I think. Yep. So he takes the cake. Number 2, J. Cole. Again, Forest Hill Drives, unbeatable. I think my first, it wasn't an album, but I think it was a mixtape or EP, was Friday Night Lights. Friday Night Lights will forever, you already know. Friday Night Lights. Bro. I was in a Twitter thread, bro. I should have tagged you in it. I was in a Twitter thread the other day, and it was like, name 4 albums or projects that you can listen to without any skips. And Friday Night Lights, without a doubt, was on
Friday Night Lights, fire.
Number 3, just to hold it down for Houston, I gotta say Travis Scott.
Okay.
Travis can't do no wrong. Travis puts something out, I'm gonna listen to it. I gotta listen to it. Number 4, I'm gonna say Kendrick.
Okay.
Love Kendrick stuff. Ever since the Pimp a Butterfly, can't lose. And number 5, I was a little torn. I was almost like Q on this one. I'm gonna have to say Big Sean.
Ooh.
Big Sean is really slept on. Really slept on. I don't know why. If there's ever a top 5, people usually name the 1 through 4, and then 5 is either Lil Wayne or somebody else. And then Big Sean's left off the list. He's like honorable mention.
Consistently left off the list, bro. He consistently puts out great records, man. Great records, man. Lyrically, can't touch him, man. He works harder than anybody else out here, man. I wish he gets more. I wish he was at a different level than he's at. But I think he's now comfortable being at that mid-tier rap space. You know, even though he should be higher up. Mm-hmm. So, like, I can't.
You're talking about top 5 rappers of all time. I mean, unquestionably, Dylon.
That's funny, man. All right, so got your top 5. Oh, you said Travis Scott. I absolutely love Travis Scott. I'm a fan. Not a fan of every single piece of art he puts out. Like Highest in the Room, I wasn't a fan of. Even when he...
What? You weren't a fan of Highest in the Room?
It just didn't hit. It didn't hit me like Butterfly Effect. It didn't hit me like, you know, everything else, you know. Sicko Mode, Carousel, No Bystanders. Those records I still play today.
Yeah.
And, you know, Highest in the Room, I skip. I skip it. All right. So, these top 5 rappers. Your top 5 cereals. Breakfast cereals.
Okay.
Top 5 breakfast cereals.
Q, I'll let you take the lead.
You want to take the lead on this one? All right. No particular. You know what? I'm going in order. Screw it. I'm going in order. I'm going to let you guys know. Number 5, Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks be fire. Apple Jacks. Then the milk after Apple Jacks. There's not too many cereals I like drinking the milk. Come
it's
on.
True. It's
Apple
true.
Jacks. This is probably an old person cereal, but Honey Nut Chex. Not Chex. Honey Nut Chex. That's one I can eat as a cereal and also dry. Fire. Fire. Eat them all day. Number 3, this is a treat. I don't eat them all the time, but whenever I get the craving for some chocolate and peanut butter, them Reese's Puffs.
Nah.
Reese's Puffs come in the mix.
That's a hard pass.
Nah, man. Reese's Puffs, man.
I don't even think I've ever had Reese's Puffs.
Oh, you're missing out. You're missing out. Do y'all like Reese's peanut butter cups?
I do.
You do? You will love it. You don't? See, you just a hater.
You don't mess with chocolate.
Oh, you don't do chocolate?
I don't do chocolate either. There's just some things that chocolate should not be mixed with in cereals.
Oh my gosh.
The one thing chocolate should be on.
I'm that guy.
Number 2, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I mean,
yes,
you can't do wrong.
Cannot.
You can't do wrong. Even though you might get diabetes after eating 3 or 4 bowls, but
that's all right.
You gotta take that risk.
For sure.
And the number 1 on the board, Raisin Bran Crunch.
Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran Crunch.
No,
gotta give it to him.
That's not what I'm doing.
Nah, bro. Raisin Bran. Not Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran Crunch. Got the clusters in there. Yes. Scoops of raisins. Get them in there. I want them all.
Let's
go. Up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I be cutting up bananas and stuff in there, man.
Yeah. Oh. Let's go.
You put bananas in cereal?
Oh, yeah.
No, I can't.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah,
Because I don't care about you looking like that. I can't do it.
You don't put bananas in your cereal?
No, I do not.
Oh, man. You're missing out.
I don't. I'm going to let y'all hold it down. I can't.
Well, that's my top 5. That Raisin Bran Crunch comes in for the steal. Number 1.
I'm gonna go ahead and go next because that just got me too crunk.
And clearly. Clearly.
Turn back to the list here. No particular order, but I'm gonna do like Q and I'm gonna go in order. I'm gonna say number 5. I'm gonna have to say Apple Jacks.
Okay.
Apple Jacks number 5 again. The after milk. Just
This gotta sip it up.
Nectar. You can't get enough of it. Number 4, I'm going to say cinnamon Cheerios.
Cinnamon Cheerios.
Cinnamon Cheerios.
Gotta be cinnamon Cheerios. They gotta be apple cinnamon Cheerios. Like
wait, apple cinnamon Cheerios?
Apple cinnamon.
Apple cinnamon. Okay, I had those.
I've had that. I thought they just had a cinnamon because I was like, I don't know nothing about it.
Maybe the Great Value brand. The apple, so they just had to throw some cinnamon on there. Apple cinnamon Cheerios is 4. Now, 3, I'm going to take it back. Captain Crunch, all berries.
Oh, yeah.
All berries.
That's like every now and then for me.
Every now and then. I can eat that just digging into the bag, no milk, just, in college doing my essay that's doing 30 minutes. I'm just
okay.
Forget that paper. I gotta focus on the cereal.
I gotta crank out that essay. Let me get some of this.
Just need a little snack to get you through. I got you.
Gotta eat my sunflower seed.
Top 2.
All right.
Number 2, Cinnamon Life. Cinnamon Life.
Cinnamon Life. I never had Cinnamon Life.
Whoa, regular Life, the squares.
Oh yeah, I got a box of those. That's for just chinchilla food.
Yes, but the Cinnamon Life.
I gotta try it out.
I need to up my cereal game because
you gotta work on it. Cereal's the best.
I've never had that before.
You missing out.
I guess so, but I'd be happy with my 5 stuff.
Number 1, Raisin Bran Crunch. Come on. Yes.
No.
Look,
Raisin Bran Crunch is it. I'm telling you.
You go to the store and you get this Cinnamon Life. The 2 go together like milk and honey, bro.
Oh my God.
Look, cinnamon.
They cannot be that green.
And Raisin Bran Crunch together, I'm telling you, it's a perfect match.
Wait, you put both cereals together?
I only care about.
I can't get with that one, but I root for you for the Raisin Bran Crunch, but I don't know about the trail mix you mixing up.
I guess that's all that matters.
I promise you.
I got you. All right, Catrice, let's see what you got.
Yes, so y'all probably gonna totally hate mine. It's just going based off what everything y'all said. But so my number 5 would be Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's
my number 4.
Okay.
My number 4 would be Apple Jacks.
Okay.
Now, so these next 3, I really don't. It's hard for me to say my top ones. What would be number 1 for me? So I'm gonna just list them. Okay. My number 3 would probably be Fruit Loops.
Okay.
And then my number 2 would be Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
And my number 1 would be anybody?
No. I'm gonna say Honey Bunches of Oats.
No, Kevin ain't. Q, what you got?
Corn Puffs.
No, y'all. Frosted Flakes. I really love Frosted Flakes. I do. I can't put that much milk in it because I still like my crunch. I hate soggy Frosted Flakes. So I just need just a little milk, and then I be in heaven.
I hate soggy cereal. My lady will put.
Yes, soggy cereal is disgusting. Can't do it.
My lady will literally pour a bowl of cereal and let it sit there and let it get soggy
purposely.
purposely.
I've seen people do that, or they'll put it in the refrigerator and stuff.
I almost got a divorce over it. Almost got a divorce. I was like,
not a divorce.
I ain't signed up for this.
Just make sure you don't fix your cereal, you'll be fine.
Oh man, but no, thank you guys for doing the top 5, man. I learned a lot about you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and move on.
Frosted Flakes is the best. Okay, I'm done.
Nah, man, Frosted Flakes, man. They get so. See, that's the thing with Frosted Flakes is you gotta put the milk on it. You gotta eat it right away because they get soggy really quick.
You can't waste no time. So I never put that much. I never fill my bowl with milk because you can't. Then it won't be right. You have to fix it. It's an art to it. So let me fix it for y'all. You'll love it. It'll be fine.
I hope. Are you one that like makes the bowl and you take a spoon and you like dab the milk on there as you go?
No, that's too much work. That's too much work. No, I can never do that either.
Those type of people are psychopaths. All right, Catrice, I wanted to start with you. Now that you're working for University of Houston, we've known each other from working for the Houston Rockets and Toyota Center and stuff like that. I wanted to get pretty much your backstory, how you got into the entertainment and everything like that. You can go as far back as college if you need to.
Okay. I will go back as far as graduate school. So when I was at LSU in Baton Rouge, I was finishing up there, and it was kind of like, okay, I'm about to graduate. What's next for me? And my sister was already staying here in Houston. And so I really didn't have any opportunities happening for me in Baton Rouge. Like, I was working in the events department there, but they didn't have a full-time position left for me, like, after I graduated. It was kind of like just a graduate assistant position. And so I was already working with sports because I used to work with Southern University's basketball program for their men's and women's, like doing their video coordinating and stuff. And they didn't have no full-time opportunity available either. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to try Houston. Why not? You know, it's known for opportunities. And so really I just started applying. I knew I loved sports just based off working with Southern's team, and then I used to play basketball, so I knew I wanted to stay with it. And so, oddly enough, I end up Teamwork Sports Online. Okay, I went there, and I ended up applying for so many positions, y'all, with the Texans, with the Rockets, everything. And I actually ended up getting a call back for the Rockets with one of their part-time positions. And yes, I came down for an interview. It was crazy because I almost didn't make their interview. It was like a flood that took place like in Louisiana. So I was like, God, please make a way. But thanks to ways and the Lord, I was able to. So interview with them.
Who'd you interview with?
And got it.
Who'd you interview with?
The Rockets with Leilani and Chris Ort.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so I interviewed with them, got the marketing associate position, and moved after that and started. So from there, was working with basketball and everything, of course. And then from there, that led to me being able to work with the Texans. And then from there, it led me to being able to work with Toyota Center. A position ended up coming up and with them. So, yeah, it just was like a boom, boom, boom type ordeal. And
nice.
Loved it ever
since. What'd you do at the Texans?
I was in the ticketing department, so I dealt with customer service.
I got you. You work with Trey Young?
Yes, he was my boss.
Awesome.
He was my boss.
Awesome. And what position did you transition into Toyota Center directly in the venue?
Event operations assistant.
Okay.
So definitely dealt with planning the events, like all the behind the scenes and everything like that. Had some great bosses, so like whenever they were over concerts and stuff like that, just assisting them with like stage setup and everything. I learned a whole lot. I was blessed. So yeah.
I think that's why I first met you at one of the shows. I think you was hanging out with Sarah Silva at the time.
Yes, probably was. I was with her a lot. So,
Absolutely. And the long hours, man. Once she told me you guys couldn't leave today, they left the property. And some shows went over to 12, 1 o'clock.
And then not even that, like some with the coordinator for that particular concert, like they still had to stay even after the show was over until they like literally left. So like people used to be until like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and they got there at like 2 in the morning. So hours are crazy. But then sometimes like they would make sure probably like one would take the day shift and the other person would come in for like that night. So, you know, get them a little break. But the hours are real. You gotta love it.
Absolutely. It's real out here. And of course, the pay doesn't really reflect the amount of hours we put into this business, man. Yeah. So you really want to be in this business, just know you're making some sacrifices. They think we get paid big money, but I'm like, no, those go to the players, that goes to the coaches, goes to this venue. You see that $12 bill? They don't come to us.
No, for sure. But yeah, both were great experiences because even with the Rockets, it was like a whole different vibe. It was like strictly on the sports side. So definitely learned a lot there. So I had the perfect mix.
Absolutely. Well, Kevin, I want to hear about your backstory. I know a little bit, but I want you to tell the people about how you got into this industry.
Oh man, mine's a little different. I did a lot of jumping around and soul searching. So I knew I always wanted to work in sports. At the time, I didn't know sports is the same thing as entertainment. So I started out wanting to work I knew I wanted to work in Houston. So I applied for the Texans, and it took me a while to finally get around to doing that. After I graduated college, I spent a whole year at the house just kind of moping around, and I didn't apply anywhere else. I was like, I'm not applying. I'm not staying in Austin to work here. Like, I'm going to Houston at some point. So it took me a year until I finally applied to the Texans. And Q, I think that's where I ran into you. I did. I applied to the Texans, got an interview there, and then that's where I ran into you and did the group interview. But I didn't get the job there. And then the Rockets became available because I had a friend that I knew, a girl that I knew at Texas State. I also knew her sister, and then her sister went to college at Sam Houston with the guy that worked in tickets at the Rockets. And I didn't know it. And so I didn't even apply for the Rockets. Basically, I just told her to send me his email. I sent my resume and I typed up a little bio about myself. I sent it off to him, introduced myself. And then in the background, he got my email, put it on the desk of of Chris Lord. Chris Lord got my email and my resume. He flagged it, and then I got a call from Chris Lord saying that I got an interview. So mine was very untraditional. I got the interview, and I ended up interviewing with Lay and Ricky at the time. So I didn't meet Chris Lord until later. So then that's how I got my start with the Rockets, doing that. And then again, that's why I ran into Q. And then eventually ran into Cat Rice. So yeah, of course I started out like we all did doing promotions, and then I kind of found myself wanting to dive into social media. So I got cool with the social media department and walked over there and just really got comfortable and familiar with how they ran things. And then, as y'all know, eventually that kind of morphed into photography. I don't know how that took form, but basically just got a camera. I wanted to do videos on YouTube. And I think at the time that I got that camera is when I started working at the radio station on top of that. So I just had a hunger for more entertainment. So I got both jobs at the same time, and getting the camera, it was like a match made. It was a crash course on learning photography and video, because I could use it at events, doing Rockets, and then out in the community or doing concerts like I do now at the radio station. And so that's how I kind of got my foot deep into the entertainment game.
That's dope. Man, that's a dope story, man. You know, he had to go through 16 people just to get his resume on somebody's desk, man. You never know who.
I'm not mad.
Yeah. One thing I've always heard in this industry: a closed mouth don't get fed, and that cannot be more true in this industry, because that's real out here. You know, me getting a job with the Rockets is because Ariane Mitchell, she worked at the Texans, and at that point, I overheard her having a conversation. I said, "Hey, man, hook me up too." She said, "I got you." Had an interview with Lay Lord, Chris Lonnie. No, I said that completely backwards.
I mean, they're a team, so you put them together.
Chris Lonnie. Chris Lonnie. We need to put that on a coffee mug for him. Chris Lord and Leilani, and also Ricky. I met Ricky. That's when we became cool, man. And it was probably the weirdest interview I ever had, man. It was,
the interview is iconic for sure.
It was untraditional.
Very untraditional. I remember I was like, yeah, I mean, Ariane told me about this. She told me how there's room for growth or whatever. She like, what room for growth does Ariane have? I said, she's over certain events, right? They just looked at each other. She ain't over nothing. Not in my department. I was like, oh, okay. He said, you know what? Thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna talk to her tomorrow. I'm like, I thought I got Ariane fired, man. I was like, she's like, we're just kidding. I'm like, oh, please don't fire her. No, man, they real over there, man. But I can honestly say the program at the Houston Rockets in regards to getting, that entry level. So if you compare the marketing associates at the Rockets to the marketing associates at the Texans, Rockets far exceeds that program.
For sure.
Far exceeds. Because you get to run your own events. They give you responsibilities, and you just don't get those opportunities
very hands-on
that often over there. So, Kevin, what is the first show you ever worked or attended?
Ooh, man. First show I ever attended? Oh, man. First concert. I really have to take it all the way back. It wasn't even in Houston. First concert I ever attended was a rapper. I don't know if y'all remember, named Wino.
Yes. No. Where them haters at? Where them haters at? Man.
That was my first ever concert. It wasn't like mind blowing or anything. I think somebody had an extra ticket. So I went. I was in high school. I was like, cool. I mean, I was just looking around. And that's when I realized I had a knack for being in the element, but also out of the element. Like, I'm just that one person in the middle of a sea of people and a lot of stuff going on. And I'm the one looking around, and I'm checking out production and, who's this backstage guy back here? Well, I wonder what he does. And what is this girl doing back here? Like, I'm looking at everything else except the concert, but I'll still So that's when I kind of figured that out. I had a presence of whatever's going on when a lot of stuff is going on. I think the first concert I ever worked was, I want to say The Weeknd.
Oh.
No, I take that back. I was helping out working concerts for Live Nation when I was working for the Rockets. I think it was like, I want to say it was a Justin Bieber show.
Nope. I remember which one it was because it was my first show I worked with Live Nation.
Yeah, you know, which one was it?
It was Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato. I was going to say that.
Yes. Demi Lovato.
First show. Yes, sir.
Oh, man. That VIP package, it was, I remember that day. I think we had maybe 300,
at least,
like teenagers come in for like the sound stage, sound check, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is when before Demi Lovato blew up. This is like right after Disney. So she was still like having like clean Radio Disney type of music. These girls were ready to see her and they was having a good time. But I mean, Catrice, you know how we handle VIP packages now. They come through that side door. We check them in, wristbands. No, that's not how we did it. We let them all in.
At one time?
At one time into the concourse, then check them.
And now some people have done that though.
I would not recommend it.
It was a bad idea at the time. We didn't know.
Bad idea. Then they had
how many people would y'all say?
I would say 2 to 3.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember it was 3 lines. We had people against the wall on the right, left, and we had people in the middle. It was a lot of people. And it was girls, like all, and a couple of parents, but they were like majority teenagers. And that back then, that's when cell phone batteries, they weren't as prestigious as they are now. People were looking for the wall plugs and everything. You got to charge it. I ain't got that. But me and Kevin kept him entertained. We kept singing like different songs.
Yeah, we went up and down the line.
Yes.
Oh my God, y'all legit.
We was like, hey, sing me a song. And they were like, hey, we just had like a little karaoke session. Because we were waiting like forever. They were just standing there. They was like sitting on the ground. It just looked so bad. Then they did not have a VIP lounge after.
They did not.
So they came in, wait that whole time just to do the sound check, and they put them back in the concourse to wait until we opened doors. And they got there like dumb early.
Yes.
The session wasn't open. They only got like maybe 2 water fountains in there.
Right.
One bathroom, maybe.
Yeah. It was bad. It was bad. But yeah, Demi Lovato was our first show with Live Nation. Man, what about you, Catrice? You remember your live show, first show you worked with?
The first show I worked, y'all, I really do not remember. And it's because it wasn't even when I was on Toyota Center side. Like Kevin said, I was working with the Rockets and, whenever opportunity came available in Live Nation, they needed more people. I really do not remember who my first one was. But one that I remember having a very much so hands-on experience with was Ariana Grande. Her concert.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was real. And then in regard to attending, my first one was Beyonce. So it was definitely a show for me. So
which Beyonce? NRG?
It was in New Orleans.
In New
Orleans.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Was during the formation? It was a formation tour.
It was Miss Carter.
The Miss Carter tour. I got you.
Come on, Q. You supposed to know that, man.
My bad. My bad.
I did go to formation too, though.
I got you. I worked that one. That one was crazy, man.
I did, yeah. Me too.
I got you. Where were you sitting, Catrice, for the Miss Carter tour?
Ooh, it's I wasn't blessed to have floor seats or nothing like that, but it was still decent. I was on the 200 level, so I was still living my best life.
Hey, I got you.
She could see me. She saw me wave.
I worked at Kevin. Were you at the On the Run tour? No, second one at NRG.
I was. That's when I worked VIP for that one. It was insane.
I bet it was.
It was insane. I had never been around anything like that in my life. I really thought working VIP stopped at Toyota, but NRG was on another level.
For real.
You know, I'll probably get beat up. You know, I'm not a Beyonce fan. You know?
Not a Beyonce. Talk bad about Beyonce in Houston, man.
It's all good. You know, I will take the backlash, but I worked it anyway because it was a good gig. And we were talking the whole day like, man, hopefully they let us go to the show. So eventually they did. They took us in the tunnel, and they let us have some of the VIP bags. And, of course, me being the only guy, I forgot what I was doing. I think I was putting something in the bag. Like, I had it on the ground. Like, I turned around, and I hear they're like, oh, my gosh, hey, look, everybody's screaming. And I turn back around. I'm like, man, what is wrong with y'all? And going that direction in a go-kart or in a golf cart, sitting on the back is Beyonce.
Yep.
And Beyonce had drove in the tunnel. It stopped for like a good 5 seconds. She waved at everybody, and my back is turned, full of my backpack, and then she drives off. And I was like, are you serious? I missed it?
She had the babies in her hand. It was her. Jay was in one car, and Beyonce was holding the babies. She literally stopped and waved at us. We was like,
wow, that's crazy.
That was the dopest experience I ever seen.
So I'm curious, what was her like VIP experience? Like, what does it consist of?
Now,
does she do a lounge? Does she do meet and greets and any type of stuff?
No meet and greets. No meet and greets.
Okay.
They had me. They staged me at the VIP, so it was upstairs in some lounge. And it was extravagant, man. It was all white linen, like a white and black theme, bunch of smorgasbord just spread out. They had a DJ there. It was just a lot. It was real lavish.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was on the 800 level, and like I said, level. White, and had free stuff, DJ, open bar. Then they had, and it was based on, your ticket prices, and depending on where you were in the show as well. So the way show flooring was set up is they had 3 sections where the stage was. So you had the middle section where, of course, a lot of their focus was. Then you had the runways on the outskirts of where the stage are. So your right and your left. Then you also have VIP packages on going towards the end. So NRG is crazy big. So you pretty much split that up into like 6 different sections. Right. So the tickets that cost the most, of course, you get you closer in a certain area. Then, of course, you sitting in the back. But you still got a great experience because they were on the catwalk a lot, walking back and forth. And at one point, Beyonce even stayed towards the end of one of the things and sang like 2 or 3 songs. Then they got on a riser where they even traveled back and forth a couple of songs. So it don't matter where you were in the VIP, it was worth your money.
Oh, you were golden, yeah.
It was a fire show. Fire.
Yeah, she could definitely put on a show, She's not like my all-time favorite artist, but I love to see her perform. Like, she's a true performer.
I got you. Hey, Catrice, what is your degree in from LSU?
From LSU is in public relations.
Public relations?
Cameras, really?
Yeah. Maybe one day I might be, NBA players, PR person or something like that, Never know how it might work out.
That's your ultimate goal? Be a...
If I do anything with PR, like when I went into it and stuff, like that was my thing I wanted to do. I didn't want to work for like a corporate office or nothing like that. I wanted to be like a person's personal PR agent. So,
nice. Yeah. What about you, Kevin?
Public relations.
Nice.
Kevin?
I know, Cameras. Yeah, I graduated in PR. Woo-woo. Nice. I didn't want to get my degree in PR. I changed my major before I graduated to Mass Comm, and that was the quickest outlet that I had that made sense to what I wanted to do. I wanted to do sports PR, but they didn't put me in the program, so I just did regular.
And that's what's crazy because when I went to LSU, that's why I chose them. Like when I was looking online for them and stuff, they had like all the sports classes and stuff there, y'all. To only get there, and they're not offering them no more. So it's kind of like, I still enjoyed it though. But at Southern, I did mass comm, but I focused in broadcasting because at that time I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do sports reporting or whatever. Still not knocking X. I'm hoping they'll take those dreams. So like I got some dreams, y'all. So
man, keep it going. You always gotta have dreams. So since you guys got degrees in PRs that kind of direct reflects in the entertainment industry, do you feel like it's a necessity to have a degree to be able to participate in the entertainment world?
I wouldn't say, I don't know, that's tough. Is it a necessity? I wouldn't say it's a necessity because like we touched on earlier, it's about who you know. And I could meet somebody that I trust that's a younger cat that's coming up in the game and I can teach him everything that I know. I'm not saying I know everything, but I definitely have seen and experienced some things being in the entertainment industry and I can teach him and show him everything. That's no different than saying being P. Diddy and you got King Combs. I don't know if he went to college or not, but I could have my son being P. Diddy. I could have my son, and I'm a celebrity. I take my son everywhere. So all he knows is entertainment, and he could never spend a day in college. He knows everything about the entertainment game because he learned from me, his father. So there's things that he has seen and learned that people have gone to college and don't even know or may not even experience. So I'll say going to college and getting a degree is not a necessity, but it definitely helps to know the back work and the business side.
I gotcha. What about you, Catrice?
Yes, and that's what I would say. It's not a necessity. I think it's great to have though. But definitely I've learned that like experience and like who you know will definitely take you further. And definitely get you in the door. And I think experience just pays off with promotions and all of that stuff. So I always hear people go for experience more than education in our field.
Yeah, sometimes. But I know like you said the lack of promotion. I mean, I think we all know some individuals who, you know, had opportunities taken from them or not offered because their lack of degrees that they had, even though they probably been with that organization for a very, very long time. And I just, you know, my opinion, I feel like it's not fair. They put their time in and they can do the job, you know, give them the opportunity because, you know, they.
Right. And I just wonder, I think like it depends on where you are, because I know some that like in the predicament of what you just mentioned, and then I know some that's like super high up and don't have a degree. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder, is it just like time or, you know, where you are?
Absolutely. Time can definitely be it. But you also speak on relationships. How do you establish and keep those relationships that you have, you know, at a certain level, especially, you know, how busy we get in the industry. So how do you, you know, have time to go out there and network and get more relationships? And then also, how do you keep the current relationships that you have? I'll let Catrice go first.
For me, relationships, I've always been very outgoing and, you know, just have no problem talking. So definitely whenever I'm meeting new people and stuff, like not afraid to introduce myself and things of that nature, you know, make small talk and, you know, eventually go into, you know, talking about professionalism as far as like what your ultimate goal is and stuff like that. What do you do and all of that? And, you know, just having a very grand presence and making a great first impression. So like this person, you never know, you might see them 3 years from now, who knows? And, you know, you might need them to hire you for a position or something like that, but they remember you. And just definitely with people you work with, just making sure you're giving your best all the time so they remember like, hey, that person's a hard worker, she plays no games, you know, and about getting the job done and stuff. So with current relationships and with people I meet, like just trying to make a great impression and just really showing the type of person I am. And yeah, I think it's definitely an impression thing. And, you know, if I see the person out and about, hey, you remember me, I have no problem doing it either. So
I agree with that. Actually, you know, coincidentally, my current boss in my current job, he was my supervisor when I first got hired with the Houston Texans. Wow. And he didn't help me get the job. He didn't know I was there because we were in completely two different departments when I first got there. Then, he made it known that he was there and he just gave a good word when it was the interviewing process. I was like, I already got the job, man, but I appreciate that. And, we just stayed in touch. Then when a position opened up in his department, I completely made the transition over, and it was just easy because we had that existing relationship and we just worked well with each other. So and that was 6 years later from me starting one of my first jobs, and now this is my full-time, situation. So you never know, impressions, and they go a long way. Kevin, same question for you.
Man, connections are literally everything when it comes to the entertainment industry, really with any job, but especially with entertainment, because you never know who knows somebody. And the same thing, you don't know who that person may know, and it can all work out. Speaking with me and Cat Rice, having public relations. I mean, when I interviewed for the Rockets, they saw that I had a degree in public relations. And I asked, I was like, I know I have a degree in PR that may not be relevant. They were like, shoot, it's not even really about the PR. We see that you have a lot of event experience. And that's why I got the job. You just never know. It's so important to go outside your comfort zone and introduce yourself to people and also be receptive. I'm never closed off to meeting people. I'm a people person, so it's easy for me. I've never really met a stranger, but I try to make it known, what my intentions are. Like, I'm not about being fake or anything, or like if I make a connection with you, I make it and intend it to be a long-lasting relationship. I treat all my connections, well, I wouldn't say I treat all my connections like a friendship, but I approach them like a friendship. Yeah. So I'm not going to bail on you or do you dirty or anything or go behind your back. And the same thing goes for touching base with relationships that I have. If it's an old friend, Cat Rice, if I don't talk to you for a while, you know what? Let me see how Cat Rice is doing. Let me check in. I'll text you out the blue. Hey, how's it going? Thank you again for letting me shoot your wedding. And did you go over the photos? I love touching base with people just because I always believe in doing things for others in which that I would want to return. So I know I've gotten those text messages of people touching base with me. Hey, Kev, how you doing? I know COVID's going on. Are your job stability, is that good? Do you have an income? Are you getting any gigs? If you need any help, let me know. I appreciate those things. So I try to go above and beyond with my connections. Hey, man, you still working for so-and-so? How's that going? Oh, man, if you need any help, let me know. Anything I can do for you. I like to help people out more than they can help me, just because it goes a long way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think a good example of not knowing who other people knows, Kevin actually met the DJ for my wedding before the wedding at an event randomly at this. It was Discovery Green.
Yes, so random. I don't even know how he knew that. Oh, I don't even know. I think
like stalker. What is happening?
He was like, yeah, man. What you got going on for the station? What are you doing this weekend or next weekend? I was like, oh well, I got this and that coming up, and I'm actually shooting my first wedding this weekend, man. He was like, oh, get out of here. Yeah, I'm actually DJing a wedding. I was like, yeah, work with named Q. Really? I'm DJing for a guy named Q. I said, get out of here.
That is funny.
They both text me. I'm like, what? How? But small world, man.
Small world for sure.
So if you were not working in the entertainment industry, if your path did not bless you to work for the companies that you had the opportunity to work for, where would you potentially be? What industry would you be in? Medical, lawyer, surgeon, technician? I'll let Catrice go first.
The longest before I went to school, I wanted to be a criminal lawyer, y'all, okay? So I had it all mapped out.
Okay.
I was going to go to Southern. I was going to major in criminal justice. And after I graduated, I was going to work as a police officer and go to law school. Had it all mapped out. And then, nobody believed that I could be a police officer. Even though I thought it would have worked out for me.
I believe
it. Did y'all see it? Did you see it?
Yeah, absolutely. Get on the ground.
I'm sorry. I don't really want to give you the ticket, but I got to. It's my job. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. See, that's probably how the way honestly would have been. So honestly, I would probably either be a criminal lawyer or I would own my own event company. Because I still really, really love planning events. So even if it wasn't for sports or for concerts or anything like that, even if it was just for people like weddings, baby showers, special events, bridal showers and stuff, I would still love doing it. So either one of those.
Gotcha. What about you, Kel?
Man, all I've really known was sports. I originally wanted to play professional basketball like any other growing up. So I thought I was going to make the NBA. In high school, I originally wanted to go into business. I wanted to do any type of business, whatever it was, sales or something. But I always had a gift for being able to just talk people into a deal or persuade them because I was very trustworthy. I think when I did my senior presentation, they asked me, "Oh, what do you want to do? Or what are you going to college for?" And I really didn't know, so I just told them business. And all three teachers was like, "Yes, you need to do that. I could definitely see it." They gave me a 99 on that project. They were like, "Whatever it is."
That's dope.
Definitely
man.
business.
Like I didn't realize. The thing is, I work security for CSC, which are the guys in the yellow shirts that usually on the field or ticket takers or etc. That's at these different venues. I was just doing that. That was just a side gig, while I was in high school. Then I just continued in college, and that side gig is what led me to my position with the Houston Texans because I became, buddy with one of the players. I don't want to say buddy, but like a better words, because he just knew me, and we just, we were always cordial and we always talked, and he knew I was in college, and when it was that time for me to graduate, he said, make sure you go for one of those, internships and stuff like that. And he was an ex-ball player. He had no influence on me getting that job. He had no say. Right. He was in totally different side of the building. So by him giving me that knowledge, gave me the opportunity to pursue this dream that I got now. So it's been awesome. Cool beans. We're going to take some time. I want to do a game with you guys called One Has to Go. Okay? So I'm dropping 4 people or things, and you have to decide which one of those items and everything surrounding that item, if it's a person, all their work, if it's a thing, anything that had influence in towards the future of its existence. Cool?
Ooh, let me get comfortable.
All right. All right. One has to go. Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Martin Lawrence, or Jamie Foxx. This is Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx. That means everything has to go. They got music, it's out of here. They TV shows, movies, stand up, all of it gone. Everything. Even if they were just featured in a movie, that movie's out of here. They were featured in a TV show, it's out of here.
You said Dave Chappelle, Martin Lawrence,
Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
Can't get rid of Jamie.
I'll give y'all some time. You want me to go? This one was hard, but I do have an answer.
Okay, what you get?
Kevin. I love Kevin.
You get rid of Kevin?
I love Kevin. All my heart. He's a great stand-up comedian. He's probably one of the few I actually watch their stand-up because I'm not a stand-up guy. He and Bernie Mac are probably the only 2 stand-up comedians I can, take in. And Dave Chappelle. But Kevin, I mean, he's done a lot of movies and great movies. He's
like a man.
I know. He's amazing, man. He's the nicest guy. He came when he was doing his whole Nike campaign. He did this running event in Houston. We weren't able to go to the show at Toyota Center, but a lot of the Rockets people, we went to do the run with him, and he stood at the finish line and hand clapped everybody to the last person, the absolute last person crossed the line. And it was like hours later. So he's a great person. But
I was able to meet him when he did his last show at Toyota Center, and I was actually in charge of his VIP and stuff. He was really nice to everybody. So that's a true statement.
Yeah. I cannot give up the Dave Chappelle show. I can't. I can't give up Martin. I can't.
Yeah.
Marty Mart. The Jamie Foxx show? Come on. The Jamie
Foxx works, period. Like with Ray and all of that stuff.
And Ray, all the work he's put in, he is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, he is.
Then you got to get rid of blame it on the drink. Think about it. You got to get rid of that tone. I can't.
Blame it on the drink.
Blame it on the deuce. After feeling this. Can't do it. Can't rid the world of that pleasure. Kevin Hart got to get out of here. Who wants to go next?
Kevin.
Who wants to go next?
Oh man, oh that's tough, man.
And I high five them. I ain't met none of these other people.
And you still get rid of them.
You gotta get out of here.
Okay.
I have to say, man, getting rid of Kev is tough because he's a Kev. I can't get rid of a Kev. Like he's a Kev, man. I gotta. Oh man, I'm gonna have to get. Oh man, I gotta stick with Kev. So I'm gonna have to toss Jamie Foxx, man.
Ooh.
I know. I don't want to, but I gotta stick with
Ray.
Kev. Gotta stay consistent with Kev.
Got rid of Ray.
Got rid of Collateral.
Kev's the shortest, so we need a short guy in there. I gotta look out for the short dudes.
What?
Warden is not going anywhere. Okay.
Never. On nobody's list. He will never go anywhere.
With the Doberman, the fake Doberman.
Bro, like, how can you have a show that's still funny like 10, 20 years later?
And people watching it like they never watched it before, watching all the episodes.
Dude, the hotel with the little rat thing.
That's priceless.
That ain't no damn puppet.
That's priceless.
Can't get rid of that, man. And Dave Chappelle, I mean, that just makes me pee on myself. That's too good. I gotta have Dave Chappelle.
It means you get rid of the Django Unchained.
I don't mind getting rid of Django.
Django was fire.
I actually never seen neither one. Like
Django?
The first one or the second one. So
it's only one.
Carol, it's only one.
I know, it's two of them. The Django?
Let me
look. What am I thinking about?
Nah, this was.
Wait, what's the movie with Kevin Hart and they came out with a second one.
Welcome to the Jungle, Jumanji.
That's what I'm thinking about. Okay, that's what I was thinking about. But I still never seen the Django, so it don't matter. I still never seen it either. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, right. We got another baton.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So y'all are not gonna like me for my answer then, because honestly, I never even watched the Dave Chappelle show.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, Dave can go for me because I haven't. I know he is like well known, real respected, and all that stuff, and people put him like up here. But it's like I never watched the show. I never watched the Django. So I'm not missing out nothing on him if he's gone, unfortunately.
So you get rid of Dave Chappelle.
What
about a stand-up?
I never seen a stand-up.
Carrots.
Okay, do you have a Netflix account?
No.
Okay. I'm done with Cat Rice. I'm just done.
Sorry.
Oh man. Okay.
Were you gonna tell me to go check them out?
You absolutely have to check them out. It's not in question. There's no reason for you to check it out.
Account and check it out. Is his show on there too? Because I've always heard great things. I just never saw it.
I don't know if his show is on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but do you
have
cable? Do you have cable?
Yes.
If you have cable, I believe if you go to like Comedy Central and you can they have the episodes. I think if you log on with your cable information, they'll be able to watch it on demand.
Oh, okay, man. I'll look at it on demand. Okay.
Right. And Dave Chappelle got about 3 specials on Netflix. I'm not mistaken. So good. And I'm not into stand-up, but Dave Chappelle, man, so good and hilarious.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
gonna check it out, and then my answer probably change later on in life.
It's okay because you haven't indulged in his product, so you can't.
Exactly. So I'm not missing anything if I get rid of them.
I got you. All right. So we're moving on to versus. All right. I'm gonna give you 2 items. You're gonna choose one of those items and tell me why that item you chose is better than the other. Okay. Y'all understand?
Okay.
All right. Have you guys watched Tiger King?
I watched the first 2 episodes.
Not into it?
It's wild for sure.
Definitely wild. What about you?
I watched it on Netflix. I didn't even watch it. I just heard things about it.
You just heard things, so I can't do that one for you. All right. Do you guys watch Wild 'N Out?
Yes.
I don't watch it, but I've watched it.
Have you seen what's been happening lately? Emmanuel Hudson versus Spoken Reason.
No.
Okay. Do y'all know who they are?
Yes.
Do you know who they are, Kevin?
Who?
Emmanuel Hudson and Spoken Reason. You know who they are?
Their faces.
I can't even dive into it with you. I can't even dive into the situation. Okay. Ja Rule and 50 Cent.
Okay. So have you guys been watching the IG battles?
I watched some.
I didn't get to watch the IG battle. I know they were gonna have it. I didn't know they actually had it.
Did they have theirs?
No, Ja Rule and 50 Cent did not have a one. Okay. Ja Rule did challenge 50 Cent. He said hit battle. But you know, of course, you had the T-Pains versus Lil Jon's, Teddy Riley versus
that one.
Teddy Riley versus the rematch is tonight actually.
Yeah, that was.
They need to have the rematch because that wasn't right. Okay.
I know. That was sad. All right, so I'm gonna do this one. Ja Rule versus 50 Cent. Who wins and why? I'll give y'all a couple seconds. But I already know my answer. You want me to go ahead? What y'all think?
You can go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm choosing Ja Rule. Ja Rule got the hits. 50 Cent, don't get me wrong, he had his time in history. I'm not a big gangster rapper, connoisseur, but Ja Rule had the hits. He had the ladies going. He had the melodies. He was out here singing way before Drake was. He made it okay to be sensitive.
Yes, man. Yeah.
I think about you.
What did I mean about my baby?
The collabs with Ashanti, he had the hits back in the day. You can still play Ja Rule records. And he was consistent for maybe 3 to 4 years before 50 Cent came in and just slaughtered his whole crew.
That's true.
Now, 50 Cent probably had one great record. His first record was probably his greatest record. He probably had a couple singles after that, but he just fell off so hard. Now, he did give us Power. Power is fire. Power is fire. But I still gotta give it to Ja Rule if you're talking about music.
Okay. And see, that's what I was gonna ask. Are we going just based off music or their overall?
Overall, as a person. As a person.
Okay. Because it's tough for me because it's like, for music, I'm going with Ja Rule. Okay. And it's like, dang, I love 50 Cent for Power and For Life and stuff. So it's like.
I actually haven't seen For Life yet. That's on my list.
It's really good. It's really, really good. I like it. But if just for music and all that stuff, I'll go with Ja Rule. Because, I still be bumping his music today with Ashanti and J-Lo and all that. So.
That actually does bring up a good point. I was going to pick the unpopular opinion at the time, which was Ja Rule, but I guess it's not so unpopular. So I would have to go with Ja Rule as well. It was tough for me because I listened to a lot of Ja Rule and 50 back in high school. My junior and senior year was a little bit of both. I listened to a lot. I listened to a lot of 50. I had
singles. He had singles.
I bought Get Rich or Die Trying. I had memorized Wankster, knew all the words to it. Then with G Unit, I bought the G Unit album. So I listened to that back and forth. I was like G Unit fanatic. Then Ja Rule had his little run thing too, and I was listening to that. Clap Back, that was like my anthem before going into practice.
Clap back.
So, but now that I think about that, I will listen to Ja Rule anytime before I listen to 50.
Okay.
And Ashanti kind of helps with that.
Oh, yeah.
He does. Okay.
Like, a lot of people are going, before all this happened, a lot of people were going on the road. You had the Bad Boy thing. If Murder Inc. went on the road, I would absolutely be there. Absolutely be there to check that out.
For sure.
All right. T-Pain versus Little John. Jonathan.
That was taking me out when he was saying it out there live.
It's because we have to, Jonathan.
Oh my gosh.
T-Pain. No, Lil Jon for me.
Did y'all watch the battle?
I didn't.
Oh, man. You watched? Oh, it was fire. I had to go back and rewatch it.
Fire. Yes. It was long though, so I did exit out in one period and had to come back But I was able to see all the list of songs they played.
Yeah.
Like they both give me two different vibes. Like T-Pain,
Yeah.
Lil Jon gets you crunk and all that.
Yeah.
Lil Jon for sure.
Lil Jon. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm probably gonna go with T-Pain. I'm gonna go with T-Pain.
Okay. T-Pain got some hits, man. You got the Good Life. You got the I'm So Hood, Got Money. Kiss Kiss, Can't Believe It. Blame It, Bartender. Buy You a Drink, All I Do Is Win.
Ooh, All You Do Is Win. They're still playing that at the end of the night.
Yes. All day.
Wow.
Who you going with, Kev?
He gonna still stick with Lil Jon, bro.
Don't let anybody else sway your decision, man. Go for who you want.
Lil Jon, man. Oh man, that's tough. T-Pain has a lot of hits and he's still making songs, but Lil Jon, I go off of influence. For me, I was listening to way more Lil Jon growing up because I needed to get crunk.
Yeah.
I listened to a lot of that.
Lil Jon is legit. He's definitely legit, man.
Yeah. King of crunk. There's no crunk without Lil Jon.
Yeah. Very true. Like in the battle, Lil Jon, this is how he started off the battle. T-Pain went first and did Good Life. And Lil Jon was like, all right, Get Low. I was like, oh, you hitting him with the hits. And T-Pain was like, all right, I'm going to do Low. Lil Jon was like, you want to do club songs?
Right.
Yeah, Usher. Damn. I was like, from the off
he
the
got
jump?
Hit, man. He got
off the
hit.
jump? You're not going to wait?
Off the jump.
Then T-Pain was like, okay, I'm going to do Up, Down. Up, Down. I was like, okay, that's nice. He was like, oh, so you want to do booty shaking songs?
That's right.
Salt shaker. I was like, you KO'd him in the first few rounds. Give him a chance. Give him a fighting chance.
He got hits, man. He has hits.
And he's very diverse. Like it was one song on here, Caboton Tour. I heard that was very big in like the Caribbean style.
Yeah.
Of course, things he do with Pitbull, Trick Daddy, Petey Pablo, Sierra.
Yeah.
And of course the EDMs he does as well. Then he closed it out with Turn It Down for What? Can't beat it.
It's close, man. Who did you choose, Keith? So who's your person? Are you going with Lil Jon or who you got? Lil Jon?
Lil Jon all day. I love T-Pain, but just a different vibe. You said what?
I said I rep for T-Pain. It's fine.
And I met T-Pain, and he was like the nicest person I ever met. Like he was just so fun to work with. Like we have artists that they're not very open or willing to do certain things, especially with us when we gotta capture social media content. Artists would be like, "Nah, I don't want to do that. Nah, I'm good." T-Pain was like, "Yeah, I'll do whatever you want." Like he was dancing and jumping up black films. He was cool. So he was really awesome. All right. So next segment is called Weird Questions. I just had a weird question that just came at the top of my head. So are you guys both familiar with Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Yes.
All right. He got released early. Of course, he got home arrest. Is that what it's called? House arrest. Excuse me. I can't talk today. It's been a long day.
You good.
He was released, and of course, he's on house arrest to finish the rest of his sentence. Bill Cosby and R. Kelly are trying to get out as well because of the COVID-19 situation. They're trying to get the same deal. Should Bill Cosby and R. Kelly get the same deal? Should they be treated the same?
R. Kelly ain't going nowhere.
He's not, though. He's not.
R. Kelly's staying right where he at. Bill Cosby might as well. I don't really have anything against Bill, but I can't make a case for him, so he might as well just stay there.
Even though he catches the COVID and he kicks the bucket.
Kevin?
He don't need to be. I mean, he ain't going nowhere.
Blind and elderly.
What's the point of him being outside? He'll be
because he could be
He'll be with his family.
He's not with the people that could possibly give it to him. He's older and he's blind. He just
let the man pass away in peace. I agree. Bill should get home.
Think so?
House arrest.
I mean, if I just had to choose to give it to somebody, I would totally choose him. Like R. Kelly, I'm with Kevin.
I would choose Bill.
He's going anywhere. He's in jail. Bill. I mean, like I say, because how old is Bill? He's
Oh, he up there. Hold up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just leave him in the house. He can't go nowhere, do nothing. Yeah.
Phil's Cosby, he's 82.
Ooh.
82 years old, born in 1937.
Wow.
In Philly. Let Bill out, man. Let him out. OJ out here kicking it, doing TikToks. Let Bill out, man.
Oh, Lord, not the TikToks.
All right. Next weird question. Which public figure's death hit you the hardest? Kobe? Why is that?
Kobe hit me the hardest simply because I didn't realize how hard it was going to hit me. I didn't realize how much of an impact Kobe had on me, particularly because I hated Kobe growing up. Like a lot of people watching sports, I freaking hated the Lakers. I hated Kobe. I could not stand playing against him every time he scored. But I can never take away his credit for how he played. Like, he always played with 100%, 150% passion. His game was solid. And Jordan was one of my favorite players growing up. And I will always give Kobe the title of the closest that ever resembled Jordan. He idolized Jordan. He's everything. Like, that's the closest I will get or had to watching Jordan after he stopped playing. And then once he passed, it was just like, wow. Like, just being able to look back at all his highlights and how he approached life, you know, it really put things into perspective. I was kind of hit hard when Nipsey died. Mm-hmm. And that kind of reminded me, like, man, you know, I need to start reaching out to people, you know, take life more seriously. Tomorrow isn't promised. Start being intentional with how you feel about people and let them know you love them and care about them. And then it just kind of faded away. But then Kobe was like that hit right there, like, you know, just leaving his family behind like that. And that it just hit home.
Did it hit harder because his daughter was involved in the crash as well?
All of that. It hit hard, especially because his daughter. It did, because I was a fan of Gianna as well. Like, every time I see him sideline, she was always there. Gigi was always sidelined next to him. And knowing his family, I think his oldest daughter, I think, was in ballet or something, or soccer. One of them does soccer.
Like
volleyball. So Gigi was the heir. She was going to be the next Kobe. Like, she was the hooper. And she looked just like him. She was always with him. Like, that was the apple of his eye. And it was like, dang, we can't have Kobe or the next Kobe. It really hit hard. Like, you really got to appreciate life and don't take things for granted.
I understand. What about you, Catrice?
You know, there have been people that definitely hit home for me, because I can take it back all the way to when Aaliyah passed away. My little heart was broken, y'all. Wow. And then, with Nipsey, but I would definitely still have to say Kobe as well. Like, I remember where I was, and when one of my friends called and told me, it was like I like, he was a family to me. Like, I was just like, stopped everything. It was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, he is definitely hit home. And like Kevin was saying, just not saying he was my favorite player, but I just still respect what he brought to the game and stuff. And then when he retired, you were able to just really get more of a feel for him as a person, and just seeing him interact with his family, his daughters and stuff like that, especially with Gigi, like, yeah. And then seeing them also interact, like, I just really feel like they were going to end up just doing something major with women's basketball, and possibly, like, just changing the overall outlook and stuff. It just really broke my heart. And then now looking at Vanessa, all these pictures and the stuff she's posting, the little girls that want, his hit. It still seems unreal still to this day. So
I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, the world absolutely stopped when it happened, because it was unfortunate. It wasn't his time yet. He was so young, getting ready to do the Hall of Fame, everything. So
it was such a shock, man. It's just a shocker. Like, yeah.
Mine, I wouldn't say. I mean, of course, to keep with the path, Kobe did affect me. I'll take it back to my past. I'll say Michael Jackson when I got that news, man. And that was like before social media was like big. It was just like, I heard it on the radio, say, just so you guys know, Michael Jackson passed away. And we was like, wait, what? The king of pop? What? Yeah. Man, he changed the game, just the dancing. I was really into his music, his visual. you know, for all his music videos. He really put it all. And the fact that he was the, you know, the standard, you know, where everybody was trying to reach, you know, where everybody was trying to approach in their music career to get towards him. You know, like, you know, one of my favorite artists, Chris Brown, Usher, is because they're, you know, direct influence from Michael Jackson. I just love an artist who's three-dimensional, you know, who can do it all. You know, I love Drake, and, you know, I'm not always a big fan of his shows, but I will look forward to go to an Usher show. I look forward to go to a Chris Brown show because I'm curious on the magnitude their show is going to put, because they have great records, they great performers, and they also have that visual expectation for what they want to present to the crowd. So that's my choice. You know, Michael Jackson. That was a big hit.
That's good. I like
awesome, it. Awesome.
Yeah.
What has been the greatest loss in your career, and how did you learn from it? The greatest loss in your career, and how did you learn from it? And I'll go first while you guys are thinking. I got laid off from a job that I really liked. It was from a big organization that was city-based. And the way I got let go, it left a bad taste in my mouth. And also, I was fearful because of the level that company was at. They had direct relationships with people I had relationships in the past and where I was trying to go. So it was just direct contact. It was a text message away, you know, those type of relationships. And when it happened, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. And I was like fearful on, you know, my reputation in the business. And, you know, just after the fact, it hurt me for like the first week or two. But once I got down the line, once I started going out more and started getting back to work, you know, with those other individuals, you know, they'll talk to me about it. And it was like, oh, I'm so glad you don't work for those guys anymore. And it kind of reassured me. I'm like, oh, y'all don't mess with those people. So my theories about those individuals really hit. It's like, I thought I was crazy, but the fact that somebody else at a certain level reassured me that my thoughts were like accurate, that the way they operated wasn't at the best interest of people who they works with them, I got it. So what I learned from it was be more confident in myself, and also don't give them the power to tear me down. Right. Because I know what I can provide for the world. I know how good a worker I am. I know what I've done and what I can achieve. So I let that one little thing put me down for about a week or two. But I learned my lesson from it, and I moved forward. And I know I'm a hard worker. If I was just a slacker, I'll take it. You know, but I'm just not that guy. So that's right. That's what I learned from
it. Good answer.
Yes.
Who wants to go first?
Cat Rice, do you know yours? I kind of know mine. I'm kind of split.
I mean, if you're ready, you could go ahead and go for Brian.
I mean, I have a definitive one that I could pick if I had to pick. I kind of have two, but it's not really a loss, I guess. The only loss would be that I left a situation, but I didn't lose. I feel like I actually won. So I guess I wouldn't count that. But I'd say the only thing I can think of was when I broke my camera. That was a loss in my career. I was shooting ACL of 2018. That was my first ACL. I went down there to shoot for this station. We had applied for media. We got media, and I had applied for photo pit. I didn't get photo pit. So any photographer that knows, if you apply for media and you don't get the photo pass, huge Debbie Downer. That's like crap. So you got to make ends meet. You got to make it work. So your next best option is you got to crowd surf. You got to shoot from the crowd or just make something happen. So I got my camera in, and if you've ever been to ACL, really any huge festival like that, the crowds are ridiculous.
Yeah.
They are ridiculous. And you have multiple concerts, especially you have multiple stages, you have a lot of concerts going on at the same time. And so as the night goes on and you get closer to your headliners, there are some people that will line up at a stage because they know Travis is going to be there. Actually, it was Travis. It was leading up to Travis. Mm-hmm. And a quick side note, I had at least one or two opportunities, I think, to shoot Travis, and something always went wrong. It was like always something that happened. So this was going to be my second time to finally get a chance to shoot Travis, and it failed. So they had people lining up on Travis's stage. I mean, he didn't go on till like 9 o'clock, and they were there at like 6. So I had to line up at 6:30 and just camp out. So I had some good footage. You know, I had a long lens. Everything was working out. It was perfect. It was perfect. I had the perfect position. It was hot. It was sweaty, but I stayed there. And then my camera was working fine. So then we had to wait an hour until Travis finally came on. And I kid you not, as soon as he hit the stage, man, I turned my camera on, screen's completely black. And I got rocked. The first 2 shows that I had to sit through in that crowd at that position, they were fine. They were fine. They didn't move around a lot. I think it was Vince Staples and it was Janelle Monáe. You know, pretty upbeat music, but they weren't like all over the place. I was chilling. I was cool. As soon as Travis came on, I mean, I'm getting tossed. And I couldn't protect my camera. So I don't know what happened, moisture, whatever, camera broke, and I'm shooting in the dark. I don't know what I'm shooting. So my opportunity was ruined. I was crushed because that was my baby. That was my first camera. I couldn't really shoot any more shows. I was hurt. So luckily, one of my coworkers, she had an old version of my camera, and she let me borrow it. New camera is like $2,300. Over $2,000 for just not the lens, not even including the lens. So I didn't have that money. I had to raise it myself. Right. So she let me borrow her camera for, man, like a good 5 months.
Oh,
5, 6 months.
That's a blessing.
You know, it wasn't the best camera, but at least I had something to get me by. And I mean, literally, I was still shooting shows like I hadn't missed a beat. But it was a huge loss because I had to have that. I had to have that camera.
Man, I'm sorry about that, man.
No, for sure.
What lesson did you learn from that?
Lesson I learned, I mean, I guess I could have been more prepared. You know, if it's not worth risking your equipment, the shot isn't that worth it. You know, if your equipment is precious and valuable to you, don't overstretch yourself. You know, don't go over the boundaries or anything like that. Don't risk your health because it was definitely dangerous. You could get trampled. So there's no shot worth risking your health or your equipment.
Yeah. Right. Side note on that Travis Scott show, I went to the Astroworld Festival, that second one. There's a difference between the regular GA and the VIP GA, and oh my God, I almost died. Yes. I watched a little girl get trampled, and they didn't care. I saw her. She reached out to me for help. I'm like, I can't. I'm holding on to my glasses, my phone. I'm like this the whole time. You see how big I am? And I got like these 13-year-olds moshing kid on me. I'm like, oh.
Yes, bro. It's horrible.
Hey, so never, if you're going to a Travis Scott show, get that VIP GA if you can. Because it's real over here. They don't care about your life. I'm too old to be mosh pit, man. It's not about that life. All right, Catrice. What has been your greatest loss in your career, and what did you learn from it?
You know, honestly, I'm not even telling you a story. I really do not have a greatest loss that I can pinpoint, because every time that I probably did think like, dang, it sucks or it's a loss, something better always end up coming out of it, like a gain or a blessing, whether it was me being able to work on my brand or a new job opportunity ended up happening. So I really do not have a loss to pinpoint, but I know with everything, like even if it is something minor, you know, I'm just always a person that believes in still finding the bright side in it, remaining positive, and to, you know, just keep pushing forward, honestly. Because I'm a person that whenever situations take place and stuff, I'm always asking God every day, Lord, your will be done and everything like that. So whenever something is, you know, taken away or something takes place, I know he still got me, you know. So I just shake back, turn over to him, try to find a brighter side or a better outlook or a way, you know, and look at it as a learning experience always, and just know what to do next time happens, something similar, things like that. So, yeah, we don't have a loss to pinpoint, but that's just my outlook when something negative takes place, period. You know,
man,
so
it is true,
yeah.
man. You gotta look at the positive side, man, because so much negativity in the world, you know, especially with the news. Like my grandmother stays watching the news, and not like CNN or anything like that. She's local news. She's watching the 3:30, the 4:30, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 9, the 10. I'm like, it's other shows on. You can watch other stuff. So I need to know what's going on.
She want to stay up to date.
Absolutely, but also it causes fear for her and anxiety. Like, you know, when I'm working for the Rockets, you know, sometimes last minute they'll drop some tickets in our hand and say, "Hey, we got these tickets to the game tonight. If you want them," I'm like, "Sure." Me and my grandmother, when I was younger, used to always watch Rockets games whenever they came on. And we would watch the TV and she'll turn the radio on. So she'll put the TV on mute because she didn't like the commentators on TV. She'll rather listen to the radio. So she's kind of one of those people that got me into sports. So now I'm working for this team and I'm getting these opportunities, but now I can't share those opportunities because of the, you know, the way the world is shaped in her head, you know. But yeah, man, you just gotta always stay positive, you know, on everything. So gotta keep them up, always praying and everything, man.
Absolutely.
Oh man. So that's all I have for you guys today on the episode. I just want to take this time for you guys to like promote whatever you're doing, promote your business, put your social media, your YouTube, everything you got. So I'll just leave it to you. I'll let Catrice go first.
Okay. Well, first, Q, thank you so much for having me. I really did enjoy it. So my social media on Instagram is Casually Catrice. Let's see, because a lot of people like to spell my name with a K. Yeah, Casually Catrice. You can find it on Instagram as well as on YouTube. So basically, I do video. I guess you call me a video creator. Like I always want to have my own talk show. So on my YouTube channel, I kind of set it up like the Ellen Show. I interview people that have like their own brand and stuff to get a chance to know them. And then from there, like we'll play a little fun game and stuff like that. Just keep it chill, light, and fun. And then also on my Instagram, something I started is IG Live. So I've been doing interviews and stuff like that with people on there. I'm going to start talking about like sports. So if you watch The Last Dance, I don't know what's coming out. But yes, you know, catch me on there. We'll be talking about all of it. So just a very social person and do entertainment hosting as well. So look forward to you following me and me getting a chance to follow you back.
I got you. All right, Kevo, I'll let you go next.
Man, like Carol said, Q, appreciate the invite, bro. This was definitely dope. That was the opportunity for us to get together during these tough times and just knowing everybody's staying safe and, you know, staying together during these times, man. It's important for us to link up and do things like this. So I appreciate the opportunity, man. Social media for me, you know, if anybody wants to follow me, my personal is Killer Kev 8. And then I have my photography. That's what I do. Wearing the shirt right here, Kandid by Kev. So
he legit job too.
Legit. Right. He shot my wedding. Did a phenomenal job. We still got to look at the photos. I'm gonna get back. Bro, I'm telling you, man. I can't tell you how many times we were like, "Hey, today we're gonna look at the photos," and I get home and we were like, "Nah." But we're gonna do it. Like we have, you know, we need to now. We don't really have any excuses.
Let me know, bro. I'm very curious.
We got you. It's very like intimidating. You look and you see 10,000 photos. It's like, my God.
I took a lot. Now out of those photos, it's probably like, you know, 800. They got some blurry ones or some too bright ones, but I didn't delete anything. I sent everything, bro. So
yeah, but no, we definitely gonna go through them. But Kevin did an amazing job doing my wedding, man. One of his first weddings, man. It was a very stressful day for me because as an event coordinator, I was trying to, you know, do that, but also enjoy it. And, you know, but yeah, pretty much don't get married. It's expensive.
Cat Rice, you up next. Cat Rice.
You next? You got the ring already?
Yes.
Nice, congratulations.
Yeah.
Awesome. How long you been in
Tell me, you. I found out the last.
You said what?
She didn't even tell me.
Kevin, don't do that. Don't do that.
Found out before me.
Don't do that. No, that's not true.
Q, we was at a viewing party, bro. At man, what is it called? It's somewhere in Midtown. We were at some viewing party, And I mean, everybody found out. They looking at their phones. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's because you were posting on social media. You just didn't look at social media.
Literally one by one, bro. We in a circle of like 10 people, and I'm just sitting here like, oh, okay, cool. And then you got Bobby, what? Dog.
You don't mind his heavy. You supposed to be shouting yourself out. You gotta stop doing
Does
this.
Bobby hold his phone like this?
You
doing
know
trap workouts.
You know how extra Bobby is. Oh my God. No, that's crazy.
Oh, that's fun. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, Q.
How long you guys been together?
5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Yes, I've been knowing him since like 7th grade. So.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Yeah, me and my lady went to high school together 10 years in.
Dang.
I think it was 8 before I popped the question. So, you know how it is working in this business, man. Had to save up some coins to get that ring.
Yes.
I'm
So
just
very happy for you.
The cash register, I guess. The cash register chick, because I ain't got nobody. Chick at the concession stand. I don't know.
The God's time. It's gonna happen.
God's timing.
It's gonna happen when you least expect it.
Well, you better get you a quarantine, babe.
Somebody, LMA.
Quarantine, babe.
You trying to shoot your shot at LMA?
I've been trying to shoot for a long time, bro. She gonna see it.
I got you, man. That's dope, man. But hey, I really appreciate you guys coming on. I hope you have a blessed rest of the week. I'll let you guys know when this gets posted before I send it up, just to make sure I get your approval. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right,
awesome,
sounds
guys.
good. Thank you again.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Bye. Y'all take it easy.